Now in this process, the whole soul throbs, palpitates, as in those who are cutting teeth here, as an irritation, discomfort in the gums when the teeth begin to grow. Just so the soul suffers when the growth of the feathers begins. It is feverish and uncomfortable and itches away when they begin to grow. And when it gazes upon the beauty of a boy and receives the particles which flow hence to it, for which reason they're called yearning, it is moistened, warmed, ceases from its pain, and is filled with joy. But when alone, it grows dry. The mouths of the passage in which the feathers begin to sprout become dry, close up. Shutting, the sprouting of the feathers, sprouts within, shut. Throb like pulsing arteries. Each sprout pricks the passage in which it is, so that the whole soul, stung in every part, rages with pain. And then again, remembering the beautiful one, it rejoices. So because of these two mingled sensations, opposites, it's greatly troubled by its state and condition. It's perplexed, it's maddened, and in its madness it cannot sleep at night and stay in any one place by day, but is filled with longing and hastens whatever it hopes to see the beautiful one. And when it sees him and is bathed by the waters and the yearning of the passages that were sealed or open, the soul has respite from the stings and is eased with pain, and this pleasure which it enjoys is the sweetest of pleasures at that time. That's why he's describing the experience of beauty. He says, stay there, stay in this state. Stay in this state. Let it cultivate. Don't move on. Cultivate this state. That's what causes the wings of the soul to become nourished and the feathers to grow, for the soul is all feathered. He says, right, the whole thing, allow it to happen. Cultivate it. Don't turn it off. Stay in that state. And now he goes back to the lovers. And you may believe this or not, I'm jumped. But the condition of lovers and the cause of it are just as I have said. And now he's going to talk about the dynamics of love in this hierarchy. And this is what he's going to do. Right? Consider each one of the gods as an archetype. Pure form, archetype. Consider the triangle. The whole procedure in the Phaedrus myth is that each person has a particular archetype to which they're attracted. And as you know, all the different gods is a different expression of an archetype. So he says, that to understand the nature of love, he said, you have to realize that this is what you really are pursuing as you see it's visible here. You're drawn towards it. He says, look here. What you have to do is get closer and closer. You're going to want to have the relationship which is a process. It's a mature relationship. It's a process where all of the key attributes of the archetype are brought into the relationship and guide the relationship. And in that way, the love then becomes, for both parties, they're both trying to become like the archetype. They then become a union with the archetype. That's the point. The distance closes. Now, just a couple of pages, I think I can jump in here. Now, he who's a follower of Zeus, when seized by love, can bear a heavier burden of the winged god, But those who are servants of Ares and followed in his train, when they have been seized by love and think they have been wronged in any way by the beloved, they become murderous and ready to sacrifice themselves in the beloved. And so it is with the follower of each of the other gods. He lives as far as he is able, honoring and imitating that God, so long as he is uncorrupted and is living his first life on earth. And in that way he behaves and conducts himself towards his beloved and towards all others. Now, each one chooses his love from the ranks of the beautiful according to his character. And he fashions him and adorns him like a statue, as though he were his God, to honor and worship him. The followers of Zeus desire that the soul of him whom they love be like Zeus. And so they seek for one of philosophical and lordly nature, and when they find him and love him, they do all they can to give him such a character. If they have not previously had experienced archetype, they learn then from all who can teach them anything. They seek after information themselves, and when they search eagerly within themselves to find the nature of their God, they are successful because they have been compelled to keep their eyes fixed upon the God. And as they reach and grasp him by memory, they're inspired and receive from him the character, habits, insofar as it is possible for a man to have a part in God. By imitating the God themselves and by persuasion and education, they lead the beloved to the conduct and the nature of the God, insofar as they can do so. They endeavor by every means in their power to lead him to the likeness of the God whom they honored. Thus the desire of the true lovers and the initiation into the mysteries of love which they teach, if they accomplish what they desire in the way I've described, is beautiful and brings happiness from the inspired lover to the beloved one, if he is captured. Right? You have to be able to capture that person. Right? And therefore, there's a whole discussion now on if the character of the person you're pursuing fits the archetype and your own archetype, then the question is, then how do you find a way to capture the beloved? Right, how do you capture? And there's a great section of 253. 254. And if he be captured, and the beautiful one is captured, right, is caught in the following manner. And now we have a whole way of how to capture. Now, see, to capture, now these states are intensified, these states are intensified, and now it's going to take some kind of relating with someone who exhibits all of these qualities that put you in such a state. Therefore, the image that he uses to explore this is that there is a power, a desire to capture, and with it, a desire to be satisfied, right? To satiate, to satisfy. And his whole game is to say, look here, hold back. Hold back on this. Hold back on this. Because that may diminish this. That's going to diminish the experience itself. Hold back.